You a-holes, court docs reveal Epic CEO's anger at Steam's 30% fees. So this is an interesting email from the CEO of Epic that has just been revealed. It has to do with the Valve/Wildfire lawsuit that has been going on for quite some time now. I first heard about it on the Game Discover Code newsletter. Basically, this lawsuit has to do with selling Steam keys and how Valve is enforcing pricing parity. And anyways, whenever there's a lawsuit, there's the discovery phase where all kinds of things become public. In this case, internal Valve data and emails are part of this suit. And from that came this email. And it started off with an email from Gabe Newell to Tim Sweeney of Epic, where he just said, "Anything we're doing to annoy you?" To which Tim replies how generally the economics of the 30% platform fees are no longer justifiable, how there was a good case for them in the early days, but the scale is now high and operating costs have been driven down, while the churn of new game releases so fast that the brief marketing or UA value the storefront provides is far disproportionate to the fee. And then one interesting, slightly depressing stat: if you subtract out the top 25 games for Steam, I bet Valve made more profit from most of the next 1,000 than the developers themselves made. That's definitely a pretty depressing stat. It simply comes from the case that so many games are unprofitable, whereas Valve themselves, by now, their business is definitely extremely profitable. So when a developer puts a game on Steam, Steam themselves make money right away, whereas the developer first needs to recoup dev costs. And over here, Tim goes on to say how Valve takes 30% for the distribution, then they have to spend 30% on Facebook, Google, Twitter for UA, user acquisition, or traditional marketing, 10% on server costs, 5% on engine. So the system takes 75%, and that leaves 25% for actually creating the game, worse than retail distribution economics in the 90s. And for a bit of context, this email is actually dated back in 2017. This was actually before they had the Epic Game Store. At the time, Paragon was still alive and Fortnite was still in its infancy, considering how much it has grown since then. He continues, "So I believe the question of why distribution still takes 30% on the open PC platform on the open internet is a healthy topic for public discourse." Now, I do think the 30%, this topic is definitely worthy of being discussed, whether it's fair or not in today's age, especially considering what he mentions on how nowadays there are so many games coming out that Steam doesn't really give you that much visibility by default. I'll tell you my own thoughts on this debate in a little bit. I have something of a hot take on this topic, but I'm hoping you'll hear me out. So these are definitely some interesting points. However, this is not the angry email, this is the much more tame one. The second email was still somewhat tame. This was on November 26, 2018, so about a year after that one. So on this one, Tim Sweeney revealed to Gabe Newell how on December 4th or 5th, Epic will announce a new store hosted on epicgames.com, so the Epic Game Store. They announced that with a permanent 88-12% revenue split, definitely much more generous than the 30% that Steam takes. They mentioned how they're going to launch it, publish it on the Game Awards, how the store is engine agnostic, so any engine supposedly can work on the store. This all also happened before the Epic Games versus Apple lawsuit, where they updated their iOS app in order to bypass Apple's fees. They basically included a link where you could buy V-Bucks directly from their own website, which would mean they don't have to pay Apple their 30% cut. That's what eventually triggered this lawsuit. But anyways, all of this happened before that. And over here, back in 2018, Tim was already thinking about that. And it was exactly based on this that he sent the message to Gabe Newell. How apparently on this email, his goal was to actually ask Valve to modify their own Steam cut, and in doing so basically prove that things can work with a lower cut, which in turn would put pressure on Apple to lower their cut as well. What he mentions here, what we need right now is enough developer, press, and platform momentum to steer Apple towards fully opening up the iOS sooner rather than later. A timely move by Valve to improve Steam's economics for all developers would make a great difference in all of this, clearly demonstrating that store competition leads to better rates for all developers. Epic would gladly speak in support of such a move anytime. Conversely, if Valve made unannounced revenue-sharing changes that favored big publishers over indies, the implication would be that software distribution economics ought to be defined by negotiating power in backroom deals between companies. In that world, companies like Apple can keep their closed platforms and just pay off big publishers to stay silent, not good. And this line is actually really interesting, talking about unannounced revenue-sharing changes that favored big publishers over indies. It's kind of interesting how this is from an email apparently titled from November 26, 2018, and then in December 1st, 2018, on that day, Steam announced this, so new revenue share tiers and other updates to the Steam distribution agreement. Basically, this is doing exactly that. So basically, it's giving a much better deal to big publishers as opposed to small indies. So like it says here, we've created new revenue share tiers for games that hit certain revenue levels. Starting from October 1st, 2018, when a game makes over $10 million on Steam, the revenue share for that application will adjust to 75-25 as opposed to 70-30 on earnings beyond 10 million. At 50 million, the revenue share will adjust to 80-20 on earnings beyond 50 million. And all of this revenue includes game packages, DLC, in-game sales, and so on. Our hope is this change will reward the positive network effect generated by developers of big games, further aligning their interests with Steam and the community. This was definitely an interesting change and pretty much the opposite of what most people wanted. Obviously, with myself being an indie game developer, I would prefer to see this going the other way, So basically taking a lower cut from smaller indies as opposed to giving a much better deal to already massive corporations. But then again, Valve is a for-profit company. So while it does suck from their point of view of just making as much money as possible, obviously this makes more sense. And then we get to the really angry email from December 3rd, 2018. So over here, Tim Sweeney talks about the announcement going live tomorrow. That is the announcement talking about the Epic Game Store and how that's finally going live. And he mentions how later this week we'll be escalating a conversation with Apple. The issue was about the iOS platform fee. So the question of open platforms and store economics will be foremost on Apple execs' minds this week. I believe the best outcome can be achieved if Apple speedily concludes that the combination of an App Store monopoly and 30% fees is untenable, and that opening iOS up is the best stop-loss strategy. Then here comes the really part. Right now, you a-holes are telling the world that the strong and powerful get special terms, so that's that special deal, while 30% is for the little people. We're all in for a prolonged battle if Apple tries to keep their monopoly and 30% by cutting backroom deals with big publishers to keep them quiet, which by the way, spoiler alert, is what has happened since then. So why not give all developers a better deal? What better way is there to convince Apple quickly that their model is now totally untenable? So yeah, Tim was definitely very angry about having to pay 30% to both Apple, Google, Valve, whatever. He feels that it's way too much, and especially considering how much money Fortnite makes, I can imagine how the difference between 10% and 30% are millions and millions of dollars. However, on this topic I have, I guess, what is a little bit of a hot take. This whole argument makes it seem like Steam does absolutely nothing to earn their 30%. And going back to his argument on how there are so many new game releases, and based on that, the very brief marketing that you get from launching a new game on Steam, that one does not seem worth the cost. However, I would argue as both a developer and a player, Steam is still extremely valuable. It already has a huge library, it's already really easy to use. It's got user reviews which are super useful. There are community forums. There's a place to add some really useful guides. You have the Steam Workshop, which is really awesome for so many games. By comparison, the Epic Game Store doesn't have all of that, even after all this time. You can ask any player and they will tell you that they much prefer Steam because it is objectively just a better service. And as a developer, it is simply the case that Steam is really massive with millions of monthly active users. The price to access those users, which Steam has gathered for the past 20 years by building their ecosystem, the price to access this massive audience, the price that they defined is 30%. So personally, given all that, as a developer, well, obviously I wish the 30% cut was much lower. If they lowered it from 30 to 10%, that would be objectively a great thing. However, even at 30%, I still think that it's a good deal, and let me say why. Back when I made my first game in 2012, Survivor Squad, back then I finished the game in about 6 months, so around July of 2013. Back then, I finished the game and I put it up for sale directly on my own website. And as you might expect, selling a game directly on an unknown game website, the final result was maybe like 10 copies sold in a first week. Obviously, that's not really great. Back then, Steam Greenlight was still a thing. So over many months, I was gathering votes and hoping to finally get on Steam. And when I finally did, on the first week, I sold something like 1,000 copies. So that really is the massive difference between posting your game on your own website that no one knows, or going onto a platform like Steam that has over 20 years of gathering players from all kinds of games. And if you just put a game on Steam, you are potentially exposed to a massive, huge audience. So this is really the age-old question. Do you prefer to keep a high percentage of a smaller number, or a lower percentage of a much, much bigger number? Value is really always subjective. 30% can be a low or a high number, but personally, I don't necessarily see it as an unfair number. The reason for that is simply because I've seen what happens when I get 100% of the revenue, but try to sell to a tiny, tiny audience. The results were really not good. I would not be doing game dev as a living if I could only sell directly on my website. Whereas over here on Steam, I can pay 30% to access the massive Steam audience alongside their very robust ecosystem. So personally, given what I've experienced myself, I do think that Steam is definitely quite valuable, and I do think the entire ecosystem is worth the cost. Maybe 30% is a bit high, maybe it should be 20% instead. Like I said, value is subjective. But I do disagree with the notion that some people like Tim compare Steam to just a payment processor like Visa or MasterCard. Those payment processors usually take a 3 to 5% fee. Steam is worth a lot more because it does a lot more than just payment processing. If you just implement a Visa widget on your own website, if you do that, you don't really get any access to any audience. Whereas on Steam, you get access to a massive audience and tons of tools that have helped me personally make a living from my indie games for the past 10 years. So while of course I wish they would lower their cut to make something much better, despite that, if Steam did not exist, then I would not be doing this as a job. So that is why, even though I do wish the cut was lower, even so, I still think that being on Steam is objectively a good thing. So will Steam one day change how revenue works? If I had to guess, I would say probably not. Like I said, they are a for-profit company. So while technically the best thing would be to do the opposite of what they did, meaning take a much lower cut from super small indies, in order to have those indies who barely have enough money to be able to keep a little bit more. If the goal is to make as much money as possible, then obviously what they did is objectively the right move. So personally, if I was Gabe Newell, if I was the billionaire owner of Steam, that's exactly what I would do. I would definitely lower the cut in order to make it pretty much 0% from, let's say, the first $10,000. I think that would be really awesome for supporting indie devs. But Steam is a massive company and really their main goal is just make money, so I really don't expect that to change anytime soon. But do let me know in the comments, what do you think about the 30% Steam cut? And importantly, let me know what do you think about the cut and if you have ever tried publishing games off Steam. I think that's a really important point because obviously lower would be better, but if you've tried selling games off Steam, then you've probably seen the value there is of being on Steam.